Hey, we have the same colors we had before. For game number 1, welcome everyone then to the first series that we are covering from the Gold League. Slam is playing down the south with the Gujaras. Whitecourt is playing up in the north with the Tatars. These players will be using the blue and yellow colors respectively. And we are going to keep the colors as they intended once again, so long as it doesn't represent an issue for anybody, right? Slam playing with the Gujaras. He's gonna have 2 additional berries upon starting the game underneath the TC. He's got the ability to garrison herdables inside the mills, and he's gonna go for it right away. On Ghost Lake, there are so many extra herdables around the map that this could be extremely good for Slam, and he's going to find 2 additional sheep over here. Whitecourt, he knows he's playing against Gujaras, so he's got to try and prevent Slam from getting free additional herdables, or trying to prevent him from getting as many extra herdables. We talked about some of the bonuses for Gujaras, didn't mention the fact that they still have 20, 30, and 40% extra bonus damage from mounted units against enemy units in the Feudal Castle and Imperial Ages, respectively. And it seems like in the end, Whitecourt will be able to completely garrison this one while still having some surplus sheep that he'll be able to butcher. Slaughter. Alright. Team bonus finally for Whitecourt. It's going to actually for Slam, sorry, it's going to be 25% faster training camel and elephant type units. So up in the north, Whitecourt playing with the Tatars is going to get free thumbering and free parking tactics on his units in the castle and Imperial Ages respectively. He also has, in addition to that, 50% extra food from herdables. So there's a different bonus over here by which Whitecourt will be able to get ahead early on compared to Slam, but of course Slam is going to be something that pays off the longer the game goes. Despite that, we will also have for Tatars 2 additional sheep spawning underneath each newly built TC starting in the Castle Age. I think so, right? And finally, the Tatars will have 25% higher damage against enemy units when fighting from a higher elevation. Team bonus, 2 extra line of sight and cavalry archer units. Anyone give to the sub? Not today. I don't think so, no. Here we are. Second board coming in already for Slam, and once again he does have a few surplus sheep he'll be able to collect from, as the mill is already fully garrisoned. Perfect. Let's take a look at the map generation. Full player, main gold towards the left hand side, secondary golds on the right hand side. Well, this one. And the other secondary goal is going to be also on the right hand side, but very far away. Stone, on the other hand, is going to have him get the stone towards the southeast, and that's going to be the only one. Because of the way that the woodlands have generated over here, he should be able to secure this goal at the very least by going for some walls like this. Potentially the stone, potentially some of the wood line over here by going for the walls like this as well. But this goal is going to be kind of problematic. If he wants to secure it, he's going to need to go for walls around it. Otherwise, he's going to have to go for the walls. Probably the more cost-effective walls are going to be something like this instead. But it wouldn't take too much more to go for the walls around the gold over there. It would be mostly a matter of villager working time, I think. And Whitecourt's coming in with a drush already. Slam. He's got the Feudal Age on the way. Whitecourt not so much. He's already on 24 population. This makes me wonder if Whitecourt's thinking of going for a fast castle approach over here. He certainly has the walls already on the way. We didn't take a look at his map generation yet. Yeah, and we could do that right now. We could take a look at this map generation, given the militias are unlikely to achieve too much of anything. The walls are already up. Yeah, Whitecourt does have the walls already on the way, and he's going for the walls in such a way that he'll be able to secure one of the golds, one of the stones, potentially this gold if he went for it around, but he doesn't know about the wood line by the looks of it, otherwise he would have connected the walls to the wood line. That's very unfortunate for the yellow player. Still though, this is going to be good. Securing the gold is fantastic. It's just unfortunate that he doesn't connect the walls to the wood line, and he won't be able to secure the secondary goal because of it. Also, he doesn't really have any safe wood lines. That is kind of the case for Whitecourt as well, but if Whitecourt's wall towards the edge of the map over here, he will have a lot of extra wood available on the back. Slam, that is. Sorry, so I think I'm liking the Bull player's map generation over here a little bit better now. As for the Civilization matchup, probably something we should talk about a little bit earlier. I don't think there's going to be... I think I'm liking the Gujaras over here. I don't think it's going to be necessarily a Civ win because of Slam, in my opinion, still being regarded as the higher level player between both of these. So if he were to win, I don't think it's going to be necessarily just because of the civilizations. Can the opponent see the footprints in the snow? Yes, they can, but the footprints, they are not as long lasting as before. Before DE came out, during the AOC days, during the Bully era, the HD era, the footprints would actually stay up for significantly longer, so it would be easier to track your units like that, but not now. With DE, it's not quite as easy. Here we are. Beautiful. Has anyone ever milled the shorefish on the ice? I think I might have seen it at some point, but no, actually, you know what? I'm lying. I cannot have seen it at any point. I don't know, my mind was playing tricks on me. It must have been a different map, because you cannot build on the ice. You cannot go for a mill. You cannot go for anything. So I haven't seen it before, but it seems to me like I might have seen something like that on a similar map. I'm not really sure which one though. But yeah, definitely not on Ghost Lake. I simply can't. Good defense for Slam. He cleans out the militias from Whitecourt. Whitecourt will still get away with the fast castle though. He's got an archer range and a blacksmith on the way. Meanwhile, Slam on the other hand, he is getting close to having enough resources to click out to the castle edge himself. He's just not there yet. There we are. Castle edge is on the way for Whitecourt. Slam. He's getting close to it. He's got almost enough food. Doesn't have quite as much gold, but it should take probably about 30 seconds or so for him to get enough to click up. Life minutes already up. Stable's already up. He's got buildings he needs. And it's gonna go up to the castle. So why did I say I don't think Slam's going to get a save one over here? Because I'm favoring the Gujaras over the Tatars. We don't have a lot of elevations over here for the Tatars to try and leverage the extra damage that they get, and while the extra food from the sheep is quite valuable early on, right? Eventually, Slam's mill is going to produce more food in the longer run, and also he's got some fantastic units to defend himself against whatever Whitecourt could go for. Like we have the Srivansha Riders are going to be fantastic against all sorts of ranged units, right? But yeah, Whitecourt going up to the castle edge faster. I give him enough of a head start over here to maybe suppress Slam and try to prevent the Canadian player from getting himself to a good position in the later stages of the game, perhaps. We'll see. Here we go. Here comes Whitecourt. He's got crossbows with thumb ring already. Meanwhile, Slam, he's gone for a second layer of walls. Siege Workshop's on the way now for the Bull player as well. Meanwhile, Whitecourt's gonna go immediately for a second TC. Trying to go full economy instead, Slam. It's gonna be second to 1 TC for the time being. It doesn't have... Okay, there we go. Second TC is coming up now. Whitecourt and Slam both have enough stone to go for the third TC. Neither player's got enough wood to go for the third one. There we go. Stable coming in for Whitecourt, and Slam is saving the resource to go for the third TC by the looks of it. Whitecourt is not going for it just yet. Hey Alchemistry, hi, welcome to you. I hope you're doing alright. Hello. By the way, Alchemistry, since you're here, I don't know if Bailu is still here, but I am curious, how much would you say... Oh, Real Lugo! Thank you so much for the gift sub. There we go, Alchemistry. Welcome back to the club, and thank you so much for the support. Real Lugo, it's very much appreciated. Not doing too horrible, which is a nice change. Yeah, that's good to hear, man. This is probably not something that you get asked too much, but how much would you say is rent in Finland? Or how much would you say it varies if you wanted like an apartment, 2 bedrooms, something like that? Pretty basic, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, something like that. I am learning German for moving to Europe, but you know, other options are not out of the table yet, I guess. It all depends on the costs. Come here. The plan right now is to move to Germany, but that could potentially change in the future. It all depends on income once again, so we'll see. Whoa! Real Lugo! Coming in hot with another gifted sub. Very much appreciated. And welcome to the club, Manfred. Count Germany. Alright. Finland is expensive. I know that it is expensive, so yeah. Apartment, 2 bedrooms in the city can cost like 400 to 2k euros a month. Depends a lot on a lot of things. Alright, yeah, for 400 I could do, for instance. 2000, definitely not. I mean, maybe I could do. I still don't know, I still need to increase income. And another one! Real Lugo, thank you so much. 3 gifted subs already in the channel. It's very much appreciated. Thank you so much for the support, and Ghostmanian, welcome to the club once again. Let's see if Whitecourt will be able to make anything happen with these camels. It's got a much larger amount of military compared to Slam. And he's done a really good job going for the camels over here to complement the crossbow, so that he wouldn't be left only in ranged units, which Slam would be easily able to counter by going for Shivansha Riders. Germany is around 10 euros square meter if you're not living in a city with more than 100,000 citizens. Yeah, I think on average Germany should be a little bit cheaper, right? But yeah, I'm currently kind of deep into learning German already. Even if it's just been 1 week since the beginning of the year, I could very easily change and start learning Finland, right? Or Finnish, sorry, not Finland, what am I talking about? But Yeah, we're going for the safest bet first. And then we'll see, maybe after moving to Germany, income is good enough to move to Finland. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I like Germany too much and I don't want to move anywhere else. Germany has cheaper alcohol. That is definitely not the... Yeah, the reason I'm gonna be moving over there for. Not the right one to convince me with. We'll move near Neely, checking out his Germany every once in a while. I don't know where I'm going to be moving yet. It's still kind of far off. It's going to be at the earliest, probably July. And I'm hoping to make it at the you know, latest by the end of the year, hopefully. But we'll see. Once again, it all depends on income, really. And another gift is Real Lugo. Putting the action over here, as we are still waiting for Whitecourt and Slam to actually take an engagement. A fourth gift is up. It's very much appreciated. And welcome, Adler, to the club once again. And thank you so much for the support, Real Lugo. A lot of wonderful people in the chat today as well. Yes. So here comes the engagement. That was not good unit control from Whitecourt. Ends up getting completely cleaned up on the left-hand side. Most of the units, all the units he spun off his army over there, get completely wiped out. And while he does still have some military over here, he ended up losing a big chunk of the lead. If he was able to keep all the crossbows together and defend with the camels, the crossbows that he had, he would still be on a much larger military lead. So there we go, camels over here, once again from Slam. He's got a lot of units, he's got a lot more camels compared to what Whitecourt's got right now, but the crosses over there, they can take the Magnum down. That's still going to make it much better for Whitecourt to take the engagement over here. Slam does not have a defense against the crosses anymore. He has to bail, and he does. A defensive castle is on the way now. Erects on top, or in front of Slam's TC. And Whitecourt is collecting stone quite heavily himself as well, so he'll be able to go for a castle very soon now. Mind you, the villager count is dead even for both these players, 82 for both. Military count's higher for Whitecourt. But as such, Slam does have a little bit of a stronger economy over here. Not only does he have extra food workers to work with compared to Whitecourt, but he has already been saving some resource by not going for quite as many units as Whitecourt. This will allow him to go up to the Imperial Age earlier, but it could come at a price, as Whitecourt does have a significantly stronger army over here to work with compared to what Slam has to work with. We'll see if he can take advantage of it. Nice raid coming in. And there we go. A lot of villages going down. And as we see the camels take a bunch of the villagers down over here from Whitecourt, the villager count's not going to be anywhere near as even anymore. Actually, Whitecourt does end up losing a lot of the villagers over here, and Slam's going to find himself at a nice villager lead, right? And throw in Guten Tag to you two as well. It is Guten Tag for me. I think it's Guten Abend already for a lot of you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the resub. That's going to be 2 months already. Thank you so much. Sorry about the atrocious pronunciation, by the way. It's not been the easiest language to pick up. Oh boy, no, that is way too advanced. I have 10 classes, and I know how to say just a handful of words, honestly. Also on the way now for Whitecourt as well. Sollten wir vielleicht noch durch? I have no idea what that means. I recognize durch, du, was, and nova. But I imagine you're talking about my German learning process. In the future, guys, it's still too early. Maybe a couple months from here, I might be able to formulate full sentences other than meine Schwester ist sehr klug. That's like probably the most advanced thing that I know how to say. And I don't have a sister. Should we only speak German to support you? Oh, definitely not. No, no, no. We need to keep the stream in English. For anybody who doesn't know it, right? GamerLegion is here. Slam is going for heavy camo right away. Plate bar and armor on the way too. For Slam, Whitecourt still a full minute away from the Imperial Legion himself. He is the one threatening with a lot of 4 units, but the moment we get Imperial camos over here, heavy camos over here, sorry, for Slam, shouldn't really struggle too much against this. And another gift us out! Real Lucho! Thank you so much for the support. 5 gift subs already. And James Goodyear, welcome, welcome to the club. And it's very much appreciated once again. Real Lucho, thank you so much. Yeah, guys, I don't want to go down that tangent for too long. I want to keep the casting going. So let's take a look. There's a big engagement coming up right now. The man over there is going down right away to the camels, but it looks of it, well, at the very least, Slam's trying to target it, or Whitecourt's trying to target it. Slam's going to have the man still alive, chasing the crossbows down. Yeah, and it seems like this is going to be a complete cleanup. Beautiful surround. The crossbows are absolutely destroyed over there as Whitecourt runs out of army. He's going to be left on 5 units only, and Slam, on the other hand, on 42 military units. On a higher villager count as well. And we were talking about Slam being potentially the favorite player for this match, despite the civilization matchup over here, but now he has put himself in a position where he kind of needs to throw the game for Whitecourt to win this one, right? From this point onwards, it's one of those situations where, so long as both players play the game right, Slam will come out on top 10 times out of 10. The only way for Whitecourt to come back over here, unfortunately for him, is going to be by Slam making some big mistakes, and it doesn't seem like the bull player is going to be making any mistakes. He's doing a really good job staying clear of the castles, trying to get the raids going, getting a lot of the units down, and overall looking absolutely beastly against Whitecourt. Dropping the villager count from the yellow player down to 87, 86, 85. Slam, 124. He's got a close to 50% stronger worker count right now, and the military count is just completely one-sided. So Whitecourt goes on to call the GG, and Slam goes on to take game number 1. We'll jump into game number 2 in a moment. Let's go through the achievements first and the civilizations. Better KD for Slam by a lot, about 5-2. Economy, stronger economy for Slam. We're gonna have for society as well, a stronger society stat for Slam for the villager max count, as well as for the amount of villagers lost. He ended up losing about 7 throughout the game, while Whitecourt, on the other hand, ended up losing 52. Well done. As here we find ourselves in front of a 1-0 lead for the Canadian player, for Slam, against Whitecourt. We're gonna see for game number 2, Slam playing in the blue color, once again up in the north. He's playing with Saracens. We're gonna have Whitecourt playing in the yellow color down south, playing as Lithuanians. Now, the venue for game number 2 is going to be Kilimanjaro, if you could call it that way. And for the civilizations the players have chosen to make use of on this map, we'll see the Slam gets with the Saracens extra HP on camels, 10 HP, extra HP on camels. In addition to that, we're gonna have for Slam cheaper markets that trade resources for cheaper. In addition to that, we'll see for the Saracens also some water bonuses. Now, those are not going to be relevant on this map. Well, we do have some water, some ponds here and there. It's definitely not going to be the best ride for him at all. Big challenge for Nova. Record the first 4 minutes explaining TC and gold and stuff, and just play it while presented. Wait. Hold on, what? Big challenge for Nova. Record the first 4 minutes explaining TC. Is that record or record? The first 4 minutes explaining TC and gold and stuff. And just play it while presenting. I am not really sure I get the idea. Yeah, I was talking about the civs, right? And I'm kind of off right now. What happened? Stam. I was talking about the Saracens. Yes, extra HP. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about everything. The team bonus is going to be 2 bonus damage from foot archer units. You record the voice audio, and then you just play it every time. I could do that. For the civilizations, it's going to work. For the maps, probably not so much. Unless I do something generic, like recording a voice clip that says, the main goal is here, and then I just draw it, right, on different locations every time. But yeah, ideally in the future I want to bring the civilization bonus panels over here, along a few extra things as well, to potentially... Here we are. Not have to talk about it every time, but that's some ways off. Once again, there are other higher priority things right now on the list. Sounds like auto everything territory, auto cast. Yeah. Capture Age. That's something for Capture Age. We have auto gameplay for Age of Empires. We could have auto cast for Capture Age. If it could just handle a camera movement on its own and all the save introduction and stuff. Auto everything. Yeah. Sure. Hey, we are in the age of AI, right? We are experiencing the rise of AI. Who knows? Maybe somebody's going to make a chat GPT extension to just cast the games. Did you see OpenAI build order? Yes, I saw it. That was not very good. Also, Guzbanian the other day asked ChatGPT why Nova AoE was such a good caster, and it gave a pretty context adequate description. That is context adequate for Age of Empires 2, but it seemed to be very generic. Because it said that I had pro players consistently on my stream co-casting games, and that is not something that I do yet. So it seems like he's just grabbing stuff from everywhere. Anyway, we talked about Slam Civilization. As we see, he's going to go for some Militias 4. Let's introduce Whitecourt Civilization before we get too much action. Whitecourt's gonna have, for Lithuanians, 150 extra food upon starting the game. He gets on top of that 10% faster movement skirmisher, spearline units, and then on top of that, we'll also see for the Lithuanians 1 extra attack on knights and Lycha units. For each relic garrison up to 4 relics, so up to +4 attack. And for the team bonus, 20% faster working in monasteries. Now, Whitecourt's going up to the Fuel Age Slam. He's going full grid, guys. He's got the militias forward. He's got the walls already coming up around his base. He's gonna go for a fast castle approach over here. And Whitecourt seems like he's going to be completely blindsided by this, right? The male is already taking a lot of damage, and so long as Whitecourt's in the Dark Age, he won't really be able to do much of anything. But he does manage to trap the militias in, though. Well done, well done. The Fuel Age is here. Now Slam has a stronger scout compared to Whitecourt, but the HP delta over here between both these units is going to favor the yellow player anyway, and he does end up taking the unit down as he gets to the Fuel Age himself too. What am I talking about? He was the only player in the Fuel Age. Yeah, he does end up taking the scout from Slam down. Regardless though, the militias are trapped right now. So long as Whitecourt is able to keep the mill up, he's gonna find himself in a good spot. One thing that I do not really like for the yellow player, however, is the fact that if he starts going for military right now, he's going forward completely blindsided. He should have sent the scout forward earlier, and if he had realized about the walls already up from Slam, then he definitely would have not gone for the scouts over here. He should be trying to rush the castle age instead. Now he will realize about this being completely walled up, but he's already trained 1 scout. He's got a 2nd scout queued up, and if he doesn't cancel this, that's going to delay his castle age just that much. While Slam on the other hand is going up to the Fuel Age right now, and yeah, he's just going to play for a full fast castle. You know, I just mixed out the players for about 2 minutes just now. Probably. Wouldn't be surprised. Sometimes it happens. Slam Russian, Slam defending, Slam's playing on zone. Yeah. If I did, sorry about that. I think that happens from time to time. Thankfully, not very often. It used to happen a lot more often in the past, but I've gotten good. I've gotten better. I've evolved. This is not my final form yet. Slam's so OP, he doesn't need an opponent. Right. Quantum Slam over here. Existing in both offensive and defensive states at the same time. Good reaction from Slam. He's gonna send a villager already. Fantastic. Yeah, and Slam's... Man, Slam's eco balancing over here has not been the best. He'll still be able to go up to the castle age, but he's gonna have to get the gold by selling resources. Probably gonna need to sell 100 food, 100 wood if he gets enough, and then he'll be able to go up to the castle age. He's going for a stable in the market, so he's gonna try and make a play for knights. That's very interesting. Against Lithuanians, it can be risky, but because he's gonna be going up so much faster to the castle age, then he should find himself in a position to put some pressure and get some damage done before Whitecourt gets to the castle age himself. Once Whitecourt starts collecting some of the relics, those knights of his are going to become a lot stronger, and Slam could make a play for camels himself. After all, they are going to be stronger once again, 10 extra HP. But if Whitecourt gets some of the relics in, even against camels, the knights are actually going to be very effective, so Slam's gotta be careful, and he's gotta try and leverage the fact that he's going out to the castle age so much earlier to either put pressure earlier on as well, which I imagine is what he's going for by going for the stable over here. Alternatively, he can just go for extra TCs and try to boom, but he does not have the stone as he sold it, which means it's going to be full aggression. Slam's gonna go all in Whitecourt, I don't know if he's necessarily expecting this. We take a look, he doesn't have vision of the stable, for instance, so he cannot really know. Schrödinger Slam. Are we in a Slam marathon today? I don't think so. Wikipedia says that Slam plays Andy in an hour. I don't think so, no. I don't think we're in a marathon, that is. This was going to be the last set that I cast, but let me take a look. We've been live for 3.5 hours. We could do one more. If Slam and freaking Andy begin as we are ending this one and we are not going to have a lot of downtime, then we can do another series for sure. Slamathon sounds fun? Alright. Fingers crossed then, games number 2 and 3 over here are not going to be extremely quick. And we won't have to wait forever for the next series to begin. Here we go. Map feels huge to me. It can give you that feeling because of the elevation over here. Maybe skewing the perspective a little bit. But yeah. Got the TC already for Whitecourt. Slam's been there since earlier. He's got the second TC already up at the center. He's got the monastery up. And he's, interestingly enough, going for camels very slowly as well. He did not add any extra stables, so it's not going to be an all-in knight push. Instead, it's going to be camels, monks. And I would imagine we'll see some siege coming in from Slam as well. There is a reason why the Smash is called the Smash. It was originally conceived as a Saracen type push. And if we were to see the Bull player go for Siege Workshop, let's say maybe around here could be good. He could start putting some pressure, right? Maybe take the gate down, monastery down, just work from here, go towards the TC. And Whitecourt, for the most part, he's been able to react swiftly. He's been able to defend himself just fine. He does have a second TC on the way himself too. Do maps differ in size, or all tiny maps have the same amount of tiles? All tiny maps have the same amount of tiles. I think the only way in which a map is going to be any smaller than tiny is if you script it so that it's smaller than that. But usually for standard tournament maps, the scripters are not going to do that. Third C on the way for Whitecourt. No 30C inside for Slam. No Siege Workshop on side for Slam. Just a monastery, one relic in. And it feels to me like he's kind of throwing his lead over here a little bit. By going for a little bit of extra economy with the second TC only, instead of going for all three TCs. It's gonna give Whitecourt the opportunity of getting ahead in economy, and Whitecourt's gonna catch up in working count very soon. By going for kind of a half-hearted military production over here, Slam does not seem to be in a position either to put too much pressure against Whitecourt, so this might actually be very good for the Yellow player. He's already caught up in village account. This map feels much bigger than Arabia. I think it's the elevation probably, and usually over here you're going to spawn, for the most part I would say, always farther away from your opponent compared to a standard Arabia generation. Like the range, the minimum and maximum distance, spawning distance between the players is going to be much tighter and overall larger here for Kilimanjaro. Like you're rarely going to see the players spawn next to each other like you can see sometimes in Arabia. So the distance between the players can feel a little bit bigger as well because of that, because of the elevation and because of the way that they generate. Maybe because the wood lanes are smaller? Perhaps we have smaller wood lines over here. We have more of them, but we have smaller wood lines. Maybe, yeah, I guess that maybe can be a little bit of an optical illusion of sorts. I sometimes get the feeling that Slam overthinks his strategies in tournaments too much. That could be the case. We know that he struggles to perform at the level that we know he can during tournaments. And this game is going to support that hypothesis for sure, because he's got only now the third TC coming up. He's not really been able to get too much damage done with the military that he's gone for so far. In Whitecourt, he was able to catch up in villager count just fine. He was able to surpass Slam in villager count just fine. Slam struggled to deny the relics from Whitecourt as well, so now Whitecourt's on 2 relics, which means if we were to get Forging and Iron Casting for Whitecourt, he would get already +4 attack in the Castle Age. That is absolutely insane. And if he gets the third relic over here, that'll be fantastic too. And he's gonna try to go for it. He's got the scout guarding it. Don't know where the monks are though. He doesn't have any. He's going for the one monk over there to go and collect the relic. Why is Slam's last minute so low? Worker efficiency in the last minute? I would imagine probably because he's sent the villagers forward, he sent the villagers around the map. There's been a lot of movement as opposed to just working, while Whitecourt on the other hand, he doesn't need to expand, he doesn't need to send the villagers anywhere, right? He's just been collecting resources from inside his walls, and Slam's been expanding. So you saw Slam send the villagers over to this wood, for instance, just a minute ago. He did have some other villagers before, and he still does have some other villagers. So that's gotta be it. But he's recovered just fine. He's going up actually higher compared to Whitecourt right now. Let's take a look at the gather economy time so far. It's looking very even. A little bit better for Whitecourt. The thing over here, though, is Whitecourt is on a higher gallery economy counter over here, while Slam has been the first player to get to the castle age, and he was the player with a higher villager count for a little bit. So the fact that Whitecourt's looking stronger by that metric right now means that he's going to start pulling a significant lead from this point onwards. As man shot skins the pikeman now. Whitecourt's got to be careful over there. He's going to go for some monks, try and get the conversions. He does have one monk coming out, and he's got it over here. Pikemen are there as well. Slam's pressure. It's getting good. He's getting both these relics outside of the monastery already, and finally Slam seems like he's making a choice for something over here as opposed to going for a little bit of everything. He is going for the push. He is going for double stable production. He is going for a forward castle. Whitecourt is not going to be able to instantly place a defensive castle himself, but he is getting very close to that. And this is an interesting castle position. Let me take a look at Slam's point of view. He knows about this gold. He knows about the TCs as well. You'll probably expect him to go for a castle closer to some resources to try and deny those. Especially when he already has enough military units to pretty much guarantee the castle coming up. There we go. Is the technology available to all civilizations that allows you to convert siege? No, it's not available to all civilizations. Whitecourt does get access to it though with the Lithuanians, so he could go for it. And Slam with the Saracens does get access to it. As a matter of fact, both these players get full monasteries, if I'm not mistaken. Unless the Lithuanians don't get heresy. Let me check. I think they do, don't they? Yeah, they have everything. Both have full monasteries. So they can go not only for redemption, they can potentially go for atonement as well, which could be good. But yeah, it's going to be too much of a push from Slam for Whitecourt to defend against. So he goes on to call the GG. This is a game that didn't necessarily need to go in favor of Slam, but he was able to clutch it up in the end. He was able to kind of fix the shortcomings that he had going up to the castle age of going for a little bit of everything, not really too much of anything. Now he decided to go for a full push in the end, and it does work out. It does work out. So Slam is going to find himself up 2-0 against Whitecourt, and we have one more game left. We'll take a look at the achievements and the civilizations and map remaining as well. But the next series, Freaking Andy versus Slam, that one is going to start in 45 minutes. So unless the third game is significantly longer than this one, I don't know if we are going to do that live or if we are going to do that using record the games at a different date. Maybe if we are done with game number 3, we can take a look at Google Maps and talk about countries in Europe and whatnot outside of the game, so my YouTube viewers don't get too pissed about it. Very good KD for Slam. In the end, it's going to be better than 4-3. We're going to see for economy a stronger economy for Slam, with about 1,300 extra resources. And understandably, by the way, I should be focusing on the games, right? Villager max count over here. Higher for Slam as well. Collecting about 13. Or getting about 13 extra villagers trained. Over Whitecourt over here at the max point. In the end, he ended up losing 3 villagers. Whitecourt ended up losing 1 villager only. But Slam did produce the most. He was able to put himself in a good position towards the end of the game. And while that was not the case throughout the game, Slam ends up clutching it up and sealing the deal. And here we go, the last game of this series. Slam 2, Whitecourt 0. We'll see up in the north for Slam. The Aztecs, yes! Just what I wanted to see. And Whitecourt's playing with the Burgundians. Alright. And another sub, Ria Lugo, you're on fire today. Thank you so much. And Chris, welcome back to the club. Although I think this is your first sub on the channel, right? So in any case, welcome for the first time perhaps to the club. It's very much appreciated. Thank you so much for the support, Real Lugo. And it's fantastic. Subathon. Seems like it. The legend. Boy, what do we get? Do you really say it's the last game of the series? Yes. It's a play all 3 and this is game number 3, so no matter what the result is, this is going to be the last game of the series. However, if we kill enough time after this game, we might be able to catch Slam versus freaking Andy live, hopefully. We'll see. Taking a look then at the civilizations, starting with Slam, who's playing up in the north in the blue color. The Aztecs are going to provide them with 3 extra carrying capacity for free. In addition to that, he gets 11% faster training military units, except for monks. Monks will get instead 5 extra HP per each monastery technology that they research. And they finally begin with 50 extra gold, and for the team bonus get 33% faster gold income from relics. Whitecourt playing with the Burgundians will have instead of 40% for discount on eco upgrades that he gets access to 1H earlier compared to other players, compared to other civilizations rather. The Burgundians will also have access to the Cavalier upgrade in the Castle Age. He gets a 50% discount on stable upgrades as well. In addition to 25% higher attack and gunpowder units. Finally, the Burgundians for the team bonus will generate food in addition to gold from the relics. Can you decide on which ads get shown, or is it random? It's up to Twitch. It's up to... like, it's their ad space, and they are the ones selling the ad space, right? So I don't get a say on what type of ads you watch. That's going to be just Twitch. Were you getting some inappropriate stuff or anything? Or just the same one over and over again, or an uninteresting one? I thought it was best of 5? Oh, no. This is play of 3, and that's going to be the case throughout the group stage. Hey, Teo! How's the stream been so far? It's been good. It's been good. We got some great sets. We got some MBL and the Viper earlier. We are casting Slam right now, Whitecourt. And after this series, we are going to wait a little bit for another series to begin taking place live. Slam versus freaking Andy. All these videos, most likely all of these series are going to go up on YouTube. I've been uploading the majority of the series that I have cast from T90 Titans League, except for a few that might not be worth it of uploading to YouTube because of either technical issues or being not too interesting, but anyway. Don't get ads? Was only wondering? Yeah, you shouldn't get any ads being a subscriber, but maybe one day that you were not subscribed before resubbing or something. Yeah. Subs are not meant to get any commercials. And I agree with you. It would not be cool to also display commercial to subs too. How many more sets are you casting today? This one is the 3rd one, and we are going to cast a 4th one after this one. Between Slam and freaking Andy. That one's going to take place live. This one, we are casting using record the games. So here comes Slam once again. And you can see a little bit of a pattern over here. Slam is going for the 2 militia drush. He will come in, will he though? The Palisades are already, yes, they already have a little bit of HP. Whitecourt's taking the time to hammer each Palisade foundation so that Slam cannot come in with any units. And this is pretty much a pattern right now. Slam is gonna try and play for a greedier eco approach over here while going for the drush. If he was able to come in, I'm pretty sure he would have tried to play for a fast castle instead. But he isn't able to come in, he spots the walls, and instead he's going to try to just go up to the fuel age and try to pick it from there. So he's going to go for archers and Whitecourt. Whitecourt's going after the fuel age so much earlier right now. He's managed to get a 32-second head start for himself. And it's looking good. You know, only one villager behind. Slam's gotten a little bit of extra LTC time. Here we go, Village is here for Whitecourt. So what is the plan? He's got one villager getting the barracks up. It's gonna take a while for him to finish building it. And if he wanted to go for scouts, he will need to send another villager, there we go, to get the stable up, but this is already kind of late, even if Slam is taking a little bit longer to get to the Village. So it's gonna be archers, okay, makes sense. He's got gold minus already, so to be expected. But yeah, maybe a little bit too late. Slam, on the other hand, he's going for an archer range himself over here as well, and it's not going to be a big difference. And both archer ranges going up, so Slam should be able to, at the very least, defend himself, but he could actually put some pressure up himself as well, given that once again the difference in archer range uptime is not particularly big. Here we go. So far, Whitecourt's has been playing defensive. Slam. He's got some units coming out. Third archer on the way. Third archer on the way for Whitecourt, and it's incredible to see how Slam is able to keep up despite going up so much later. Despite, well, maybe not so much later, but despite getting the archer range up later as well, going up a little bit later too. He does keep up really, really nicely over here. Actually, a lot better. Nice push. And the game has stabilized. From this point onwards, it's unlikely we'll get to see too much action until the players get to a substantial amount of units and are compelled to go forward and put pressure with those. We know that Slam is aware of the walls from Whitecourt, so it's unlikely to try and put any pressure until he gets a good amount of units so that he can potentially breach through. Meanwhile, Whitecourt, on the other hand, Whitecourt is not really aware of the walls from Slam, so I would expect maybe the yellow player to try and put some pressure, but he might be expecting Slam to be completely walled off already because of how the first two games went, because of the fact that Slam went for the Drush this game as well. It's been the case every time that Slam goes for the Drush, walls himself, and tries to play for the Castle Age. This time around, it's going to be different. It's going to be different in the way that, in the sense, rather that Slam's not trying to fast castle, but he will still have the walls up, and he will still be completely protected, right? And now Whitecourt knows. He confirms his suspicion. So it's just going to be a race to the Castle Age. A race to Slam is firmly on the lead in Whitecourt. Whitecourt's struggling. He does have extra food workers compared to Slam. Yes, that's because Slam's just run out of berries. But Slam still was able to mass a good amount of food. It's got almost enough gold already. So Slam's gonna be on his way to the Castle Age. There we go. Idles the TC a little bit to go up. But he will have a significant head start to the Castle Age. In so long as he gets, at the very least, 30 seconds earlier there than Whitecourt. And we know that it's going to be actually much more than that because Whitecourt's not even close to having enough food. But yeah, so long as Slam has a somewhat, even if a small lead to the Castle Age, a small head start to the Castle Age, if he does get enough stone, or uses the market to get enough stone to go for extra TCs, he's going to compensate for the idle TC time, no problem. Right now, though, it seems as if Slam's going to try to play once again for full aggression, but this is very similar to what we saw in game number 2. His resources do not indicate an intention to go for full economy. He does not have the stone. He cannot go for any extra TCs. However, last time around, it looked like that as well, and in the end, he did go for extra economy, even if it was not very cost effective, as he had to buy a lot of the stone. He had to wait a while before he was able to place the TCs. But right now, he doesn't really have a second barracks or a second archer range, so it doesn't seem like he would be going for a full push either, right? So, like, what is the plan over here for Sam? Try to make use of the units he already has, maybe send a villager forward, go for a siege workshop. That'll be good, I think. That could be nice. Yeah, there we go. Slam's coming in, guys. We could very well see a siege workshop come out from the blue player forward and start putting some pressure. Actually, a siege workshop close to the golds would be fantastic because he would be able to deny both these, right? Yeah, that'd be really, really good. Whitecourt, he does have the goal on the back still, but it's going to be a secondary goal, so it doesn't really... It's not quite as good, right? It doesn't really get him too much. It doesn't really last for as long. And here come the archers from Slam. He is not sending any units forward. He's got just military units over here. If he wanted to send villagers over, they would get picked up by the archers that we have from Whitecourt. Here we go. It's getting pushed away for the time being. Does Slam die TC over here? Oh no, definitely not. If he dies TC, he ends up losing half his army at the very least. Whitecourt should be able to garrison the village at the time and punish the blue player. Here we are. This is some good damage from Slam. Like overall, he's managed to get 4 farms down. That's going to be 240 resources. Doesn't drain already for Whitecourt, right? So it's not terrible. It's some damage. But now that Whitecourt gets to the castle age himself, he's going to go for elite skirmishers. And he will chase the archers from Slam away. And Slam, he's got a little bit of a time window over here to get some of the skirmishers down before they turn into elite skirmishers, as he's got crossbows still. But it's shot. The window opportunity for Slam is shot clean. As the crossbows go down for the most part, only 2 crossbows remain over here. Yeah. However, Whitecourt does end up losing a big chunk of his own military units as well, so he won't really have enough to go forward and put pressure with. 36 on the way for Slam. He did go for the second TC over here in the end. We had 2 extra TCs already out for Whitecourt as well, so pretty similar to game number 2. Slam, once Whitecourt gets to the castle age, tries to make a play for economy, going for the extra TCs. And we'll see who's better able to keep the TCs working.
Okay.
2 relics already in for Slam, that is good. With the Aztecs, that's going to produce as much gold as 2.66 relics, of course.
Comanza. Vinchan.
Sì. Pusotto.
Here we go. Does he see the relic east? He's collected a 3rd relic right now. He knows about the relic south. He does not know about the relic east. So he could try to go for this one. It's going to be riskier because it's closer to Whitecourt space. But he's coming in. He's coming in with some mangonels. He did go for the siege, but he did not go for the forward siege. Oh, the monks get taken down though. Only 1 monk remains over there, and it's going down as well. Yes, sir. Whitecourt prevents Slam from getting the 4th relic. Actually, still has gotten 3 relics, and because of the team bonus for Slam's civilization, 3 relics will produce as much gold as 4 relics for any other civilization. So you could say that's going to amount to about 4 villagers worth of gold miners for Slam. that kind of compensates for the villager lead over here. We have 6 extra villagers for Whitecourt. So it kind of closes the gap a little bit for Slam without actually having to go for the villagers. Yeah, Whitecourt's gone for not only a castle, he's gone for a fortissy right now as well. So he's gonna start pulling ahead in economy and Slam. Good thing that he's playing with Aztecs over here, otherwise he would probably just fall behind extremely.
Okay.
Here comes Slam once again. He is... Yeah. Completely set on trying to get the relic, but it's unfortunately too late as now Whitecourt's collecting the relic himself. The only one left is this one on the right hand side, which Slam does not have vision of.
Comanta. Bantne. Comante.
Slam buys some stone. Buys some more. He's gonna try and go for a castle forward. He's in only 2 villagers though. You know, a castle around here would actually be really good for the bull player. Around this area. Once he gets to the Imperial Age, should be able to take this castle down, the TC down, using the hill advantage as well with trebuchets around this area. Should be able to take both these things. So he's going for it. Is this an arena clan strat from Slam or is it legit? No, I would say that this is legit. The Aztecs can definitely make a play for monks on any maps. We have seen it already in the past. Even from non-clowns, of course. Well, I wouldn't really rate Slam as a clown himself, so I would say this qualifies as that. Here we go. Imperial H will be here earlier for Whitecourt, so he will be the first one going for trebuchets. Because he'll be fighting uphills though, it's not going to be the best. He's got some archer ranges coming up on the back over here. And this is going to be for... He can go for skirmishes right now, but I would imagine that this is going to be mostly for hand cannoneer. He is most likely not anticipating Slam to make a play for eagles at some point, and the hand cannoneer will counter those units pretty handily. There we go. He could be going down very soon, Whitecourt. Good thing that he was not researching the Imperial Age with this one. Yeah, Whitecourt's going for the walls towards the edge of the map over here. I think he collected the relic, right? Yes, he's bringing it back home. So there he is in the Imperial Age. Whitecourt! He's gonna start going for trebuchets. He's going for chemistry right away. He was setting up his hand cannoneer production facilities. He only needs the upgrade right now, so he's waiting for chemistry. Meanwhile, Slam's gonna be in the Imperial Age in a few moments. He's got only 1 castle to work with, while Whitecourt's got 2 castles, so he can go for 2 trebuchets at a time. And this one on the right hand side, I think might be on the same elevation compared to Slam's castle, so he might be able to offset for the elevation by striking from this area, but I'm not really sure the trebuchet is going to have enough range though. I think it does. I think it does. Here comes Slam. He's got Eagles. He's got Eagle Scouts. Not even Eagle Warriors. Let alone, of course, Elite Eagles. The first trebuchet does come out for Slam. He's got the second trebuchet on the way. Yes, there is enough range for the trebs to target the castle from the right-hand side. I think, in my opinion, Whitecourt, if he sent the trebuchet over here to the right-hand side, he would do a much better job at putting pressure against the castle over here. Otherwise, Slam should be able to keep the castle up for the time being. Chemistry is on the way for Slam as well. He could make a play for Arbalesters if he wanted to. They are not the best for Essex because they don't get Ring Arch Armor, but and they don't get Thumb Ring. But I'm not really sure what else he would want to go Chemistry for. It's going to be 1 extra damage on the trebuchets. But he does not get Bombard Cannons. Skirmishers, perhaps? Maybe. Skirmishes with Atol. He's not really going for any ranged units, so I'm not really sure what to expect over here. Regardless though, here comes Slam. He's got 3 trebuchets taking the castle down, heal down right away, and the Eagles are coming in straight into the trebuchets. That's going to be 800 resources over here. The Whitecourt's trying to protect himself. Meanwhile, Slam is bringing extra villagers. Try and keep the castle up. That's a lot of trebuchets coming in. The hand cannoneer from Whitecourt are providing protection to the trebuchets, but we have mangonels and 1 trebuchet crumbles and the castle goes down at the last second. That was so close. If Slam had gotten the trebuchets down just a few seconds earlier, he was gonna be able to keep the castle up, but now as things are, Whitecourt is the only player left in the game with a castle at all. Slam, on the other hand, he's got a lot of Eagle Warriors coming up. He's going for the Arbalester upgrade. Remember, no Thumb Ring, no Ring Arch Armor. Those are not fully upgraded units, but they can still pack a punch, especially with good numbers. Scout at this point in time, these are not Eagle Scouts anymore, but these are not Elite Eagle Warriors yet, so he's going very heavily into the Eagles. But he hasn't gotten the upgrades yet, and the castle crumbles from Whitecourt. Still left on 1 though, on the left-hand side. But this castle is not really providing protection to much of anything. He's got 1 tile of stone over here that just ran out. He's got some lumberjacks on the left-hand side and some farmers, but for the most part, it's going to be completely exposed everywhere else. So if Slam were to go for Elite Eagle Warriors, he should find himself in a pretty good spot. Go Slam. Getting completely flattened by the hand cannoneer. He needs the Arbalesters here sooner rather than later. He's got some. He's got some hand cannoneer. He's got some Arbalesters to fight the hand cannoneer off. As long as he's got a meat shield over here of Eagle Warriors as well, he should be able to get some good damage done against the hand cannoneer. The only problem over here for the bull player, something that's prevented him from already cleaning these units out from the yellow players, that he does not have ballistics. Extremely important. Beautiful. Why it's Trebor? Because they have the trebuchets still left. Basically, that's the only reason. But the Trebs are not going to do anything against other units. If Slam is able to take this one down though, however, he will have to trebuchets to keep on pushing forward and taking the TCs down, which Whitecourt's definitely interested in taking the trebuchets down himself. He has taken a lot of damage over here and doesn't have any villagers repairing, so the trebuchet does go down in the end, and Slam is able to hold on to his own. Hazard coming in, and Whitecourt is not going to cheapen out over here. He will send a lot of his units trying to get the trebuchets down, but he won't be able to do it. Slam's defensive play over here. Looks great. He's got a 4 castle coming up right now and 2 Troviches left. If you take a look at Slam's point of view, he knows about the castle, so he can send it. He can send the Troviches over there. Oh, he's going after the monastery first. Yeah, he could take the relics. I think he had some monks, right? No, he doesn't have any more monks anymore. He needs to send a few extra to collect these 2 and end up securing all 5. But to be honest, from this position, Slam is looking so good. While Whitecourt might have been able to get the walls up to the corner of the map or to the edge of the map towards the northeast, Slam does have a lot of extra map presence compared to the yellow player, which means he's gonna get access to extra resources. He's got this gold over here he's collecting from behind the TC. He's got this gold over here he's collecting from. This gold over here he could collect from. This gold over here he is displacing Whitecourt from and could take advantage of as well. Meanwhile, Whitecourt is going to have only 2 gold safe. This one and this one. And this one is somewhat safe even. It's beyond the walls. So it's not guaranteed to stay safe. It's only a matter of Slam sending some units over there. And Eagles are in. Yes. He needs to take the castle down. Garland War is on the way for Slam. Yeah, once again though, I mean, he needs to take the castle down if he wants to raid around this area, but to be honest, this castle's not protecting too much, so if he just went around the right-hand side, he should be able to get a lot of extra damage down. Oh, another castle for Whitecourt. That is really good. It's going to make it so much harder for Slam to keep on pushing. We have Hussar, Elite Skirmishers, Bombard Cannons right now appearing and disappearing. As they do. Good defense for Slam. Okay, he went for Garland Wars. So these guys get extra attack. Now he's got Atatl coming up. Or is it Atlatl? Yeah, he's got that one coming up. There we go. Raid attempts coming in from Whitecourt. He's got a lot of catching up to do. Slam's got 30 extra villagers right now. But you know what? Slam's starting to struggle over here big time. Cheriches took the castle down on the left-hand side. Whitecourt still holds on with a hand cannoneer. Hey, there he goes. Slam's gonna finally try to collect the 2 remaining relics. Nice. Whitecourt Super House. Yeah, he's going to fix that. Slam's getting 200 population very soon. Play Barden Armor's coming in for Whitecourt, and when Slam is on 200 population, he's got great momentum here. He is not really getting too much damage done. He's gonna try down the south. He needs to try on the left-hand side and take a look. He got the outpost, and now he knows. He's got perfect vision of all the villages. So he sends 2 Eagle Warriors, and that's gotta be enough to take all the villages down, unless Whitecourt goes for something to defend himself with, and he will go for a Panic DC of sorts. He will manage to get it up, but still. Slam is in such a good spot over here. Still 200 population. Whitecourt, a good amount of military units, actually more military compared to Slam. Still on 160 population. Only needs to figure his economy up. Nice raids coming in from Whitecourt though. Starting to get some villagers. You gotta wonder, in this position, if Slam ends up losing a few of those villagers, is he just going to replace those units with military? He doesn't really have a strong enough economy to really spam the units right now. So I would imagine the answer to that question would probably be no. And he has been for a very long time on 0 gold miners. We were talking about earlier on how many golds were available to Slam still. And he will finally start collecting from the left hand side after the castle comes up. He is finally collecting over here down the south as well. While Whitecourt, on the other hand, Whitecourt's going to run out of gold very soon. He's got one tile here for 300 gold left. And then these two tiles up in the north, they are kind of exposed and they are going to be for 1500. So now that's a lot of extra economy that now is going to have access to, with 2400 left over here. And over here we have, yeah, about 2400 as well. So that's close to 5k gold versus, what is that, 1500 for Whitecourt? Looking too good for the yellow player now that Slam has stabilized. He's been on 0 gold minus for a while, but now he's stabilized. What happened to the monastery? Did he lose it? I think he lost it. Yeah. In any case, guys, Whitecourt does not want to keep on trying anymore over here. He was very much on the back foot. So he goes on to call the GG, and Slam will get a clean sweep over here for the series, and a great result, all things considered over here. Remember, Slam has been known to struggle in tournament games, but against Whitecourt, he did not struggle that much. There were some instances where Slam maybe made a few mistakes here and there, but it doesn't seem to me like it mattered too much. So let's just go back and take a look at the achievements one more time. We'll see for military, a better KD for Slam, a little bit higher than 21 to 20 for economy, a stronger economy for Slam as well by a lot. And really, really good job overall for Slam this game in terms of economy. He was able to stay ahead for the most part. But the village account that was not quite as big as Whitecourt for several times during the game. Slam was able to clutch it up anyway, putting pressure. He was able to stay at over 50% of resources collected, of total resources collected from both these players throughout the game. So the fact that we had extra villagers over here for Whitecourt for a while, but he wasn't able to collect any extra resources, just speaks volumes about Slam's pressure. Well done!